you.
I get it.
Good. Okay. Good morning. Good morning, everyone. Thank you all for coming. We have a big group today, and we want to honor everybody's time with this information. So if you were not able to sign in before we're getting started, please make sure you sign in before you leave today. That way we will still capture the information. So thank you very much again for being here this morning. I am Amber Sharia. I'm the Executive Director with Mavericks Community Foundation. Can everybody hear okay on here? Okay. So welcome to Coastside Gives 2026. We're excited to be here. And we are very happy to have all of you here with us. It feels kind of surreal that we are already back to starting Coastside Gives again. It feels like we just closed out our 2025 campaign not that long ago, but here we are. So a couple of housekeeping things. The presentation today, the slide deck will be on the website in the toolkit for you guys to reference at any time throughout the campaign. So you're welcome to take notes, but just know that this information will be online available for you after today. The meeting is also being recorded. The recording will also be up there for you guys to reference after today as well. So just know that that information will be there for you, and that is how we do it with every meeting that we have. So the information will just continuously be added to the website for you to reference. So we are in our 11th year of Coastside Gives, and we had a record-breaking 10-year celebration last year in which we raised over $2 million in 2025, bringing our grand total to over $10 million since the inception of Coastside Gives. So, we at Mavericks Community Foundation really believe in the power of collaborative and collective fundraising. That's what Coastside Gives is built on, and we really believe that a rising tide lifts all boats. That's how we approach this campaign. That's truly at the center of our organization, and so we hope that everybody here will embrace that idea also, because we have accomplished so much together over the last 10 years, but we have a lot more that we can do. So with that, we're going to jump right in. So a little bit about what you can expect today. We're going to give you a little overview of how Coastside Gives works. We're going to give you a little information on what is expected out of nonprofits who are participating, key dates and deadlines, and then some information on tools and resources. So who we are and what we do. Mavericks Community Foundation organizes Coastside Gives. We have been in existence since 2015, and this is our team. We have a number of our board members here with us today. Mike, do you want to wave? Mike Alifano is a board member with us. Lisa Grissom, Diane Brosen, Mary Oldham, Kelly Hoffman-Davis. Paige Hutcherson is not here with us today, but we're very excited to have her join our board. And then this year we have Brianne Angelini Phillips, who has joined us again as our program coordinator. She was formerly a board member, and now she's come back to join us in the program coordinator role. And we're super excited to have her back with us. Our role in Coastside Gives. So what does Mavericks Community Foundation do? We license the platform, which is the Mighty Cause platform that Coastside Gives runs on. We provide technical and administrative support for the entire campaign. So when you guys have questions about your campaign, when you have questions about how to set up your profile, your registration questions, when you want to bounce ideas off of somebody around a fun promotion or an event connected to Coastside Gives, all of those are things that we can do and help you with and work with you on and support you that way. Funding. We secure prize grants and sponsorships that we then pass on to you guys via Coastside Gives with the prize grant opportunities that you have when we get closer to the giving campaign. We promote Coastside Gives, so we produce and we promote Coastside Gives. We provide all the signage, we provide the banners, we do marketing online, all of those things we are responsible for. And it is a partnership with you guys also, right? Because we work together on social media things and other visibility and awareness things for the entire campaign. And we manage Coastside Gives from start to finish. So we have a big group. I'm just wondering, by a quick show of hands, how many of you are brand new to Coastside Gives this year? So every year we have new organizations come into the fold. So some of this information, if you've been here before, seems like, hey, I know a lot of this. But every year we have new people, new organizations join, or a new leader for an existing organization join the mix. So we always like to review the basics. How is Coastside Gives funded? So we mentioned the sponsorship grants that our team goes out and gets. We do have participation fees, the registration fees that you all paid upon registering for Coastside Gives. We really do work to try and keep them to a minimum. We try and just break even exactly on what they are because we know it's a big lift for a lot of people. And then of course, as with anything, there are donor processing fees. So this is the fee breakdown. At checkout, there's always an option for donors to cover the fees for organizations. And in 2025, 89.6% of fees were covered by donors. So the majority of fees are covered by donors. And I have to tell you, that's a really impressive stat. We are in contact with giving days all over the state and all over the country. And we are super fortunate that we have a very generous donor base that covers a very high percentage of fees on behalf of our nonprofits. So, of course, there's always detailed information about fees available for all of you and for donors on our website. Coastside Gives sponsors. So this is huge for us. We cannot do what we do without the partnership of the community and our sponsors. And we are so, so grateful to the sponsors that we have for this year so far. You may see as we move through the campaign that this sponsor list may grow, right? We are always adding new sponsors and welcoming new sponsors into the fold. So we do want to shout out the sponsors we have so far for this year. A lot of the names will be familiar. We're very lucky to have sponsors that really do believe in Coastside Gives and really do want to support a thriving nonprofit community on the coast, which is why they donate to this campaign, because they really do want to show support for all of the work that you guys are doing within the community. A little bit of a look back. We always like to share some stats about organizations that have been with Coastside Gives for a little while and what they have accomplished. So we want to shout out a couple of them today. So Coastside Feral Care has been participating since 2023, and in that time they've raised over $32,000 on behalf of their cause, which is fantastic. La Honda Fire Brigade, representing some of our South Coast members, has been participating since 2021 and has raised over $159,000, which is amazing. They have used that money largely for equipment, fire trucks, so super amazing efforts there. And Coastside Hope, participating since 2018, has raised over $453,000. So just a couple of stats to share as part of that kind of $10 million overview. So again, our impact so far for Coastside Gives since its inception has been $10 million or over $10 million. In 2025, we raised $2 million. And so this year, we want to do that again. Our 2026 goal is another $2 million. And it's a big goal. 2025 was a hustle to hit $2 million. 2026 is also going to be a hustle, but we also really believe that this community is incredibly generous. We've seen it for years, and we know that the need for the services you guys are offering is greater now than it ever has been, and it's increasing. So we think that we can hit 2 million again. We hope that you guys will also think that we can hit 2 million again, and we'll be enthusiastic about working together towards that goal. So, a little bit about what success for Coastside Gives looks like. A successful Coastside Gives campaign is planned in advance. So we don't recommend waiting until the week before Giving Day to start promoting your efforts with Coastside Gives. It's usually run by a team, right? So even if you are the primary point person for your organization, think about other people who you work with or who work within your organization that you can tap into for support. So that could be board members, it could be staff if you happen to have paid staff, it could be key volunteers, it could be key donors. So just people that you can brainstorm with and work with around ideas for your campaign. And then the other piece of it is a successful campaign uses multiple outreach channels. So you want to, we always say you want to talk to donors early and often. So you want to let them know that you're participating. You want to share with them what Coastside Gives is if they maybe are not aware, or if it's your organization's first time participating in Coastside Gives. And you want to give them the information about what to expect. So, a little about what you all need to do. So, you have registered, so great, good job. You've already done one of the first things that need to happen, and you're here at this meeting. So the next steps really will be about setting up or refreshing your organization profile. So if you are a new organization participating in Coastside Gives, now that you've registered, your profile looks pretty empty. It has very just basic information that came from registration. So your next step will be to start filling that in, right? Building your profile, sharing information about your organization, what your goals might be, what you do. If you're a returning organization, you want to start to update your profile because all of your information from last year is still retained there. So if you were running your fundraiser for a specific goal in 2025, your profile page right now is still referencing 2025. So you want to make sure that you're making updates so that it's relevant to what your goals are for 2026. One of the most,
Sorry if this is a dumb question, but
there are no dumb questions.
How do we actually do that?
How do you update your profile page?
Yeah.
We're gonna get there.
Okay.
Yep. So one of the most important things that we're going to ask you to do in your profile page is that you log into your profile and you update the admins associated with your profile. So we are going to use that admin information to pull those email contacts out and create a distribution list that we're going to use to communicate with you for the rest of the campaign. If that admin information in your profile is not up to date, we're going to be sending emails to people who maybe are no longer connected to your organization, so that won't be super helpful. So really important that you get your admin information updated, and we're going to show you where that is. The next piece that is coming up is the giving guide. Submissions for the giving guide are due on February 4th. We have some copies of last year's giving guide in the back if anybody wanted to grab one just for reference. We are going to be sending email reminders about your submission for the giving guide. And the most important thing to remember about your giving guide submission is you want to take the time to be thoughtful about the language you're including. And when you submit it, we are going to consider it a final submission. So please make sure you review the information that you're putting into the form and that you feel really good about what you have included, because it is going to be considered a final submission. Along with setting up or updating your profile, there are going to be some optional advanced features that you guys can opt into. We're going to be talking about those throughout the course of the campaign also. Attending meetings. So we do have a series of meetings associated with Coastside Gives. 2 of those we consider mandatory, which is sort of this kickoff meeting, so we're all in the same space, hearing the same information, and answering questions together, starting off. The second required meeting is the prize meeting, which will be at the end of March. In between those 2, we offer a couple of other sessions. We offer a tips and tricks panel, and we offer a deep dive support session. Those meetings are optional, but we absolutely encourage you to attend if you're able to, if you need assistance. They're super helpful. Pick up materials. So we will have materials like posters, like the 2026 Giving Guide, banners, those things will be available for you guys to pick up at the prize meeting in March. And then, of course, you want to promote Coastside Gives 2026. Yes?
Is it okay for me to ask a question about those materials?
Sure, absolutely.
If we wanted to make custom materials, so NICES is celebrating their 25th anniversary, how far in advance do you need those graphics in order to pick up for the material pickup day?
Okay, so that's a great question. I'm just going to repeat it here to make sure that everybody can hear it and for the recording. The question is, if an organization wants to make any custom materials, like with their logo on it specifically or something, how far in advance does that need to occur? So what we provide is all general Coastside Gives materials. We do have some organizations that have taken it upon themselves to make some custom promotional materials. You might see some of the yard signs for Coastside Gives. You might have seen some that have an organization's logo specifically on them. If you do, that means that organization has chosen to invest in some customized promotional materials. If that is something your organization is interested in pursuing, we recommend that you contact the Graphic Works directly. They are who we work with for those promotional materials, and they will be able to let you know what the best timeline is, what kind of images work best, all of those details.
They're great to work with.
Sure. How to succeed. I am going to invite Brianne up to jump in here and lead you guys through this next part of the presentation.
Hello everyone. Good to see you guys all back again and all the new faces. We're really excited about the
I had to stand on my tiptoes for a picture with Corinne earlier.
And this one?
Yeah.
I'm going to go through the how to be successful. This is kind of the timeline that we're looking at, January through May, and all of these bullet points will help you guys have a successful campaign. So January, that's where we're at right now. You guys already registered, which is great. She talked about updating your profile and your admin contacts. That is very, very important. With the email addresses, like she said, if they're not updated, then you're not going to get the current information that you need. The new orgs need to set up or update the platform profile page, which she had talked about. Then you're going to draft all your giving guide content and images. There is a new size requirement for the giving guide for your picture. So just note that on the information when you guys do submit it. Make sure we get it all correct. But if you have any questions about that, I am available for any help you guys may need. February, you're going to submit your final giving guide content and images. Like she said, your submission is the final submission, so make sure that you've reviewed it. You're going to plan your donor outreach strategy, and remember, asking for help and doing it as a group is more successful than trying to do it alone. So make sure you guys are reaching out to people and making this a group effort. You're going to secure matching grants for your campaign. That should start in February. March, you're going to finalize your donor outreach plan. Determine which prize grants you're going to target. So in March, we're going to have the prize grant meeting and show you guys where you guys can make some more money. So you guys are going to want to take that and be strategic about which ones you guys want to go after. You're going to prepare your campaigns, your letters, postcards, emails, all of that kind of stuff, your social media content. Get it all ready ahead of time so that that day you're not scrambling. That day you can just celebrate and be excited and go after your guys' goals. In April, early giving will begin. You're going to promote your campaign constantly. You're going to be emailing or you're going to be talking to donors. You're going to be putting it on social media. You could host one-on in-person touch points with all donors. That's optional. And then Gives Day is in May. So we're almost there. It's going to be here a lot faster than you think. So being prepared is basically the best option for you, or is the best opportunity for success. It's going to be plan ahead. Do it now. Start now. To set up or refresh your organizational profile, you're going to log in and you're going to go to this page right here. It's going to take you to this page, your organizational profile. At the top it says to-do list. If you click that, it'll show you the areas that need information. So if you don't have anything filled in already, it's going to come up on that list of things that you need to fill in. You are going to complete your to-do list. You're going to promote your cause and your brand, update your logo, your banner, select a color theme. You can upload more current images, videos, all your links to socials. And you're going to tell a story. You want it to be captivating. You want people to read about you. I have been working with this organization for a couple years, and there's still nonprofits that I'm like, wow, I didn't even know that existed. So the more information, the more excited you guys are about it, the more people will be invested as well. You're going to review and confirm your admins by end of day Friday, January 30th, because that's when emails and things like that will be going out, so we need that done ASAP. Returning nonprofits, review the information currently on your profile to make sure information and dates are accurate, and then campaigns. So last year if you had a certain campaign for a certain goal, make sure all of those things are being updated. The giving guide. Some of you guys picked one up from last year. It is a very, very powerful tool. It is mailed to every Coastside household. It attracts new donors who may not know. It raises awareness for nonprofits that may not have as much awareness. It will circulate the community even after Gives Day. You'll find them everywhere because we put them everywhere. And it's something tangible. So I know for instance, our office, we take them and then we just highlight or we put little sticky notes on all of the organizations that we want to donate to. So having something tangible to look at is very handy. People really, really enjoy them and ask for them all year round. So we need you to submit your giving guide content by February 4th. It's a Google form. The giving guide content includes your headline, the primary section, how funds will be used, and then your logo. There is a charge for a change fee, so let's make sure that the first submission is your final submission. Matching grants. So you can increase your donations through matching grants. Matching grants boost results. You're going to approach board members or donors or potential match partners and ask them if they wanted to have a campaign for a matching grant. The recommended setup for that is listed here. you're gonna wanna put their name, match amount, clear the match title, or the clear title for the match grant, run match through May 8th, and then upload a photo. If you guys have any problems while setting that up, just let me know, for sure.
So, just a quick question, Brianna, I'm gonna step in.
Yeah.
For new organizations, we have a number of new people in the room. Does everybody know or understand what a matching grant is? Yeah, everybody feels okay about that? Okay, just wanna make sure.
We had one question back here that said
Oh.
no.
I'm sorry. Oh, no.
I said no.
Okay, perfect. No, I'm sorry, I'm sorry I didn't see you. Do you want to tackle that or do you want me to?
Go ahead.
Okay, so matching grants is kind of when you think about like the KQED radio fundraiser, right? You hear, and they're saying, if you donate now, we have a match until 2 o'clock today and it will double the impact of your donation. So that's considered a matching grant. So one powerful tool in the platform is your ability to include a matching grant, right? A lot of donors like to see that their donations are having an extra impact and will try and donate to organizations that have a match grant as part of their profile or part of their campaign. So we suggest when you think about matching grants and where you might be able to get matching grants for your organization, you think about talking to your board members. Maybe you have a donor who donates to your campaign year over year that you have a good relationship with that you might be able to approach and say, hey, we know every year you donate $2,000 and it's amazing. We would love to know if you're planning to do that this year. Could we use that $2,000 as a matching grant to incentivize some of our other donors to come along, right? So think about things like that, who you might be able to talk to within your organization circle that could provide that matching grant for you. Yeah?
I have a question. Is it more effective in your experience to sort of call out individual matching grants, maybe if they're okay with their name being used versus anonymous? Or other thing that we were thinking is getting some of the volunteers for our organization to maybe do 50 or 100 or whatever, and then put a collective. What's more powerful, to have like a big amount or to have more small grants?
So I don't know that one approach is more effective over the other. I think it's maybe some consideration about your donors and what you think they might like to see, and really who you have in your circle and what they're comfortable with. Some folks will donate money for a match, but they want to remain anonymous, and that's okay, right? You still have the match there, and it's still working powerfully for your organization and in conjunction with your other donors. Other people might want to have their name attached to it, and that's great too. So it really just depends on the organization, and really it depends on the wishes of the donor that's providing that match.
But in terms of physically entering it into our website, you could wait and collect it all and then just put, maybe it's a group donation from volunteers, maybe
Sure.
on one line. You don't have to do it separately.
Sure.
Okay.
No, you have the option. So you can run one match. You can also run multiple matches. It depends on what your organization is able to obtain and how you want it to flow. So, yep.
Could I add to that?
Yep.
We've done both. We've done smaller matches, and we've also tried a large match. We found it much more successful to do smaller matches because then you could say something when you enter it about the people who are associated with the match, and that's often more powerful than if you just have one there. So you say like, this hour that's a match that's being done by so-and-so who's been a member of our organization for, 6 years or whatever, and it's.
Great, thank you.
Other questions?
Yeah, about the matching, when does the money for the match need to be received?
Oh, so that's a great question. When does the money for the match need to be received? So matching dollars do not come through us. They go directly to you, right? The way we see them on the platform and have them counted as part of Coastside Gives is by you setting them up as a matching grant there. So when does an organization need to receive their matching funds? That's gonna be up to the discretion of the organization around how each individual organization handles that. You might have a donor who you work with all the time who says, I'm in for a $3,000 match, absolutely you can count on me. You guys can determine if you're ready to make that public before you have that money in hand or not, right? That's kind of an individual scenario. I would recommend that if you are getting a match from somebody that you've never worked with before, or that is kind of brand new, you might want to wait until you have payment to put it out publicly. But generally, what we see is that matches are coming out of existing relationships. So probably you will know and have a sense of what that looks like.
So, just to be really clear, since it's coming directly to the organization, that means there's no cut for the donation stuff like the platform takes. That's 100% goes to the organization,
So there
correct?
is no, that's correct. So there is
That's what I
no
wanted to
fee
say.
on matching dollars.
Yeah,
We do capture the information
Sure.
in terms of our totals because you're entering it in as a match, and that's how we see it on our side.
which is great to market
But,
program and everything else.
but yes, primarily
Absolutely.
the matches would go directly to your organization in whatever format you all accept them.
But the matching money doesn't count towards our, total amount raised, right, for prizes and that sort of thing?
So for the prize structure changes a little bit every year, so I can't tell you yet exactly what that will look like for this year. We'll get to that in March. Typically, match dollars don't count towards prizes.
Sorry, one last. So if, let's say you had a $3,000 matching grant, once the donations come in, and if it exceeds 3,000, do you take that little, I think last year you had a little star if there was matching grants. Does it show people that you have a matching, or does it come down after you've hit that matching grant total?
So this is a great question, and we're getting a little more into the weeds here about matching grants, and there will be time for tutorials on all of this. But generally, once your match has been met, the information will stay there, but it just says that your match has been met, and then your ticker just keeps counting on top of that.
Thank you.
There are a couple of different ways to set up matches, right? Some people might have multiple matches. They might have a match that they run during early giving, and then another match that comes online specifically for Gives Day. We have more information about how to set up matches. We actually have a video tutorial also that we can share with you. It will be on the toolkit. We'll let you know when that's there about setting up matches. So really right now, the focus of having kind of matches on your mind is kind of cultivating who you might approach for those matching dollar requests so that you're kind of getting everything lined up as we head into the rest of the campaign. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. So let's follow the tips for success. As we had mentioned, have the same point person or group of people attend all the Coastside Gives related meetings. Having that same person come to all the meetings, getting all the same information all the other organizations get is really important. Set realistic campaign goals. Focus on one program or project need is helpful, and consult your board and staff. So if you guys come up with a need for this year's campaign, focusing on that one thing could be very successful for you guys. You want to pick and choose elements that are right for your organization. You do not have to do it all. Wear your gear, especially in the weeks leading up to Gives Day, whether that's Coastside Gives gear or your own nonprofit gear. Communicate with your donors early and often, and then collaborate with other Coastside nonprofits. And then you can also check out the Coastside Gives Donor Outreach Handbook that will be on the toolkit as well. This is this year's Coastside Gives merch. It's beautifully done by The Graphic Works. A little bit different than last year. But you can pre-order now, or you can pick up at the March 25th prize meeting. To order, you just go to coastsidegives.org. Tips and tricks panel session will be March 4th here at 10 a.m. It's a panel discussion with some returning organizations, which is super helpful because you can ask directly, just like we had here, interaction of what works best for some organizations or ways that they've been successful. You can find out how to maximize your giving day. You can climb to the top of the leaderboards and engage donors. Matching funds, peer-to-peer fundraising information will all be at that March 4th meeting. Donors, who we're all reaching out to and how, mailers, calls, social media strategies and contents, how to thank donors and share Giving Day results. And then you can send your letters and calls and social media showing how well you guys did. But you can register for the tips and tricks and all the other sessions on the website as well.
So this will be recorded, the tips and tricks?
Yes.
Good, because I'll be out of the country.
Okay. When you need to do it by. Coastside gives 2026 key dates. You need to update your organizational profile as soon as possible. Giving Guide content deadline is February 4. The tips and tricks panel is March 4. And the mandatory prize meeting, which is the most exciting meeting, and material pickup is March 25th. Early giving opens April 1st. Give Day is the 7th. And the wrap party, which we have, the location has not been determined yet, will be Friday, May 8th. And then the actual donations close Monday, May 11th. Yeah.
Is the deep dive meeting you mentioned the same as the tips and tricks, or separate?
Deep dive is.
It's separate. So Lindsay asked if the deep dive meeting that we mentioned is the same as the tips and tricks meeting. No, it's not. It is separate. There's an omission on this slide that you just pointed out. So on February 11th yes, thank you, Lindsay. On February 11th, also here at 10 a.m. is a deep dive meeting. You'll be getting emails about this. It's an optional meeting for any organization that wants a little bit more hands-on assistance with updating your profile, with entering a match, with, talking over maybe what some of your strategies are going to be. This is going to be kind of a newer session that we haven't offered before. It would be probably super helpful for new organizations. If you've never participated in Coastside Gives and you're finding you need extra support around building your profile, this might be a great session to come to. But absolutely any existing participating organization is welcome. And you'll get more information about that in your email. Just a note about donations close Monday, May 11th. So Gives Day is Thursday, May 7th. We advertise it as a online giving day. Give today, that's our big day, right? But really we start accepting donations April 1st because we'll take your money as soon as we can get it. And we advertise Gives Day is May 7th, but the portal will stay passively open through May 11th. So from a promotional perspective, Mavericks Community Foundation will promote Gives Day, and then after that you'll see that our promotion stops. The portal will remain open through the weekend because there might be stragglers, right? Somebody is going to say, oh my gosh, I totally was going to donate and I forgot, and they're going to call you, and Boys and Girls Club is going to say, just sneak on there and do it right now. We'll still take your donation. We'd love the money, right? So that's kind of an internal date that we need all of you to be aware of, but it's not one that we're going to publicize, right? We publicize Gives Day.
So midnight, the 11th, Monday the 11th is when it closes.
Yes. The other piece of that is sometimes organizations receive offline donations, right? In Coastside Gives, we really want to drive donations through the portal. That's how we are able to sustain Coastside Gives and keep this event going year over year. It's also the best way for us to capture how much money is being generated by the event in total. But you might have some donors who walk up and hand you cash, or some donors who are like, I only write a check. So absolutely accept those donations. We would never ask you to turn down money. Don't be crazy. But what we will ask you to do is enter those donations into the platform as an offline donation. This will help us gather that information and inform us on really the whole total that this campaign is bringing in. In the past, there has been a fee associated with offline donations. This year, there will be no fee associated with offline donations. But here's the thing.
Don't game it.
Yes,
Don't game the
please
system.
do not game it, right? We need to drive donations through the portal. That is really the way that we keep Coastside Gives giving, right? It's part of how Mavericks Community Foundation can sustain the event. And after 10 years of raising so much money, what we do know is that a lot of organizations now count on this event as part of their annual fundraiser, right? So we're always looking at it from a lens of sustainability. We absolutely want the information, so we do want you to enter it into the system. Sometimes, and maybe this year, there may be prizes associated with having your offline information entered. So there might be some incentives there. So please know that the goal is to run as much as we can through the portal, but it is also to capture that offline information. We will ask you to enter it, and we will remind you how and where you do that. So that date is also to give a little wiggle room after the campaign in case you guys receive some offline donations that are still part of Coastside Gives. You have a couple of days to still get them in. Yes?
Do you have a time and place for the March 25th meeting?
All of the meetings are here, and they're all at 10 a.m. And if you go to coastsidegives.org, the timeline is under the nonprofit resource tab. It shows you the timeline, the dates for everything, and then all of those links will also be in this presentation.
So these are going to be some links for the nonprofit resources. If you guys have any questions about navigation or setting up profiles or anything like that, like we said, you can reach out to us. We do have some videos that we can pass along as well that may help you guys if you guys are visual learners and want to see somebody do it. So we have those as well. But all of these links are available when you log into the dashboard on the toolkit. And then here's our information. So you can reach out to me specifically and I can help you. If it's something more techie that the platform needs to respond to, that is their information. I can always connect you to them as well. So just let us know how we can be best supportive of you guys.
So, questions?
So when do checks, after the campaign's done, I mean, there's gotta be a certain time to do accounting and all the rest of the stuff like that. When do checks get cut, or I don't know if you're doing EFTs or disbursements happen?
So that's a great question about disbursement.
Yeah.
Yes, I will. Sorry. I will
When
use the
is-
microphone. So the question is about donation disbursements, and after Coastside Gives runs, when and how will organizations receive their donation disbursements? So some of that information will be shared, again, or reminders in the spring, but there are two options. The donation disbursements will come directly from Mighty Cause. So within your Mighty Cause profile, you have an option to either set up electronic funds transfer, or you can opt into a paper check. So you can decide what makes the most sense for your organization. The interval of disbursement is a little bit different depending on which choice you make. If you choose EFT, you will get 2 monthly disbursements in April and 2 monthly disbursements in May. If you choose a check, you will get 1 check for the month of April and 1 check for the month of May. So it will just depend on which avenue your organization chooses in terms of your disbursement preference. Other questions yet?
If we have changed banks,
Sure.
so we have to update that. So do we do that through support at Mighty Cause?
Nope.
Nope.
You can do that right in your profile.
Oh, in the profile.
Yes.
Okay, cool.
So we will send out information with the step-by-step information about how to either update your disbursements or how to include the EFT or opt into EFT if that's what you choose. But if you have changed banks, you can update that information in your profile. However, you may need to do a secondary submission to Mighty Cause. When you opted into EFT, you may have had to send in a photo of a blank check or some sort of documentation. So you may have to provide that documentation for the new bank setup.
So security question, are they using somebody like Stripe to do the actual EFT, or are they storing that information themselves?
So Mighty Cause Foundation does the processing and does store that information.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just a security question.
Sure. Yeah.
When it comes to, if somebody makes a donation and then they wanna take it from their taxes, does that come from Coastside Gives or does that come from the individual organizations?
Great question. So the question is around a donation and kind of a donation receipt, right? So when donations occur on the platform, a donation receipt is automatically issued. So as part of your profile, as we move through the campaign, you'll have an opportunity to customize a little message that will get sent through as part of your, from your organization. But the platform itself immediately sends a confirmation email to the donor, including the donation receipt. Other questions? Yeah?
Will that work also for the offline donations?
So great question. It will not work for the offline donations automatically. However, you can ask the system to send an offline donation receipt. You also will have the ability to reissue a receipt. So say a donor contacts you like in September and says, hey, I donated to you in May, but I can't find my receipt anymore. You have the ability within your profile, within your donor report, to look up their name and click a button that says reissue receipt, and it will send it to them again. Okay, just 1 second.
As far as thank yous go, so there's the receipt and then there's the thank you. I'm assuming the thank you comes from the nonprofit. How do we get the contact information to send those thank yous, and how frequently? Is it something that as soon as they do it, we get an alert and then we can do it, or do we have to download a file?
It's a great question. So in your donor profile, you will see that there is a report section, and you have the ability to pull out donation reports. You can pull out donation reports for online donations, for offline donations, or combined reports. So you can pull that information out. That lives in your profile, and it continues to build in your profile year over year. So if you're jumping in for an existing organization, but this is your first year being associated with them, when you go in, you will be able to search through the historical information. So different organizations approach thank yous differently, right? Some organizations wait till the end of the campaign and send an email thank you out to all of their donors. Other organizations might choose to do handwritten thank yous. That can look very different for everybody. Some of that gets talked about at the tips and tricks panel, just in terms of what other organizations have tried and what they do. But that kind of becomes an internal discussion about how often and in which way you want to acknowledge your donors. Lindsay?
On the website, does it give them like it's an opt-in, I guess, that we can contact them outside of Coastside Gives related email, or not?
So that's a great question. So before I answer this, I just want to let you know, we're happy to continue answering questions. If you need to sneak out, please don't feel like you need to stay. Go do what you need to do. If you did not sign in before we got started, please make sure you sign in before you head out. Okay, so the question is around permission to contact donors outside of Coastside Gives. Like, can we now that they've donated here, can we now automatically add them to our regular contact list for the organization? So there isn't a mechanism within the platform for them to automatically opt into that. What we suggest is that on your thank you notes, you say something like, if you would like to hear more information about Half Moon Bay Girls Softball, or if you would like to join our regular distribution list, click here, right? Give them the option to opt in via your thank yous. Other questions?
Actually,
Yep.
I don't know if this is helpful. On a personal level, I donated to a number of Coastside Gives organizations in addition to mine. But I'm gathering my stuff for taxes, and yeah, I got a receipt, but they're like the email is super long. Is there not a way to get like a nice letter sent out to our people next year, or where can I get that, or you know?
So you're saying that the email, the receipt that's generated from the platform is too long?
Yeah, like there's no like the important information. It's like thank you so much for donating, blah blah blah. Like you know the tax ID number and the amount and all the things are like maybe it's just me, but
So you do have the ability to customize what your donors see in those fields. So perhaps, and we're happy to work with you on that, perhaps there's a way we can work with you to kind of change it up or streamline what you have in there now to be more reflective of what you'd like to see in the future.
okay, but in the meantime, okay, thank you.
Yes?
And I didn't hear exactly what that was. Your admin update.
Okay. Yes, okay. So the question was that we mentioned a deadline for January 30th. We are asking organizations, please log into your profile and update your admin contact information by this Friday, the end of the day, Friday, January 30th. Just because starting Monday, we will pull an updated contact list out of there, and we want to make sure we're getting everybody who is participating this year and representing organizations this year on that distribution list. Any other questions? Okay, thank you guys so much. We are always available to help, so please reach out if you need it.